Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody, my name is Luthfan Hamdani and I am student from EIN Jakarta. This video I make as assignment or final exam from English Phonetic and Phonology course. So this time I will talk about this one, the rules of phonology and prosodic phonology. And now let's start from the rules of phonology first. Phonological rules are part of communication through language, whether spoken or written, or main is part of speakers' knowledge of the language. Okay, this is the definition from phonological rules. Okay, here the kinds of phonological rules. First, assimilation. Second, dissimilation. Third, deletion. Fourth, insertion. Fifth, metathesis. So let's move to assimilation first. Assimilation is the process of sound change where one sound is influenced or modified by other sound. Okay, then there is some change or modification in assimilation from the pure word or the real word. Okay, here there are two types of assimilation. First, progressive assimilation, and second, regressive assimilation. Now let's start from progressive assimilation first. Progressive assimilation is a sound modification in which the first sound changes because of the sound behind it. And assimilation usually occurs when a word is added. Then progressive assimilation is occur or happen when there is some additional word. Yeah, there is some additional word in the pure word or in the real word before. Okay, this the example from progressive assimilation, like polite become impolite, correct become incorrect, rational become irrational, logical become illogical. Okay, I think by saying this picture you will understand about progressive assimilation. Okay, next, regressive assimilation is a sound modification in which the sound behind is regressive assimilation is a sound modification in which the sound behind is have a change or undergoes a change. Okay. For example, when the plural s suffix is added to a word, it will change depending on the sound, yeah, depending on the sound of the last word in the word that is passed. Okay, there are three things to consider when adding a suffix. First, if the last sound of word is voiceless, such as p, t, and t, then the inflection will sound like s. Yeah. For example, like word jump become jumps, eat become eats, mark become marks. Okay, next, if the last sound of a word is s, z, and h, then the inflection will sound like z, z. For example, like fish become fizzes, church become churches, discuss become discusses. Okay, for the last one is if the last sound of singular noun is voice, such as b, d, and g, then the plural noun sound will end in z. Yeah. Z, z. For example, like dog and dogs, hat, gum, hat, and rub, come, rubs. Yeah. Okay. Now we move to dissimilation. Dissimilation is a phonological process in which two close sounds change to become less alike or more similar from the nearby sound. Okay. Here the example from initial air, like surprise become surprise, particular become particular, temperature become temperature, and more example like initial L, like what? Colonel in English and in Spanish coronel, and it in Italian colonnello. That's the example from initial L. Okay, next. Deletion is the omission of one or more sound. Yeah, sorry. Deletion is the omission of one or more sound, such as a vowel, a consonant, or a whole syllable in a word or phrase. Then omission mean here is deletion. Yeah, delete. This the example from deletion, like did not become didn't, cannot become can, I'm become I'm, and more example like word tonight. Yeah, that's not pronounced by tonight, but the right is night. Yeah. Then the initial key here is delete. Yeah. And same with word knowledge. Yeah. That's wrong if we say by knowledge, but the right is knowledge. And same with knife. The initial key here is delete too. Yeah. It's delete and not pronounced. Okay, next. Insertion. Insertion is phonological process in which a sound is added to a word. Okay. This is the example from initial A. Special and in English, special. Estudiante and in English, student. Espada in Italian, spada. Okay, this is the example from insertion. So next, metathesis. This the last from the kind of the rules of phonology. Metathesis is the transposition of sounds or syllable in a word of the sentence. Okay, transposition mean here is change. This is the example from metathesis, like pretty and pretty, foliage and foliage, cavalry and cavalry. Okay, okay. Now we move to prosodic phonology. Prosodic phonology is a theory of the way in which the flow of speech, or mean is learn how to rise and fall of the speaker's voice. Okay. This the kind of prosodic phonology. There is stress, length, tone, and intonation. Now let's start from stress first. Stress is a given emphasis to the sound or syllable in speech. Okay, this is the example from stress, like I love you, I miss you, I need you. Okay, then the word, the words of love, miss, and need here that's include or involve to stress. Yeah, and impossible if we say I love you, I miss you. Then we stress in word I. That's impossible. Not suitable in, yeah, not suitable when we say to someone. And of course we will say I love you, I miss you. We will stress the word of love and miss. Okay, that's all what I can tell to you all about the example from stress. Okay, now we move to length. What is length? Length is features of sound that longer than other sounds. Okay, this the example from length, like sweet and sweat, eat and sit, sheep and sheep. Okay, that's all. Example from length. Okay. Next is tone. What is tone? Tone is the use of pitch in language to distinguish lexical or grammatical meaning. That is, to distinguish or to inflect words. Okay. Now we move to the last one, is intonation. Intonation is primarily a matter or variation in the pitch level of the voice. Sorry, intonation is primarily a matter or variation in the pitch level of the voice, and also intonation conveys differences of expressive meaning. Okay, this is the example from intonation. First, surprise, anger, and worthiness. Okay, that's all. Okay, that's all from intonation, the definition, and the example. Okay, maybe from here for me. And if you find some mistake from my explanation, I'm apologize. And till I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.